talking about perspective into the year 2026. We're looking when you see clearly early, when you are able to have a prophetic perspective of 2026, that means you are seeing clearly early, and you will navigate through. You find out that when such happens, you will navigate through 2026 calmly, because just like a pilot that is cruising, because it has instrument that can see ahead of what the eyes can see. It navigates calmly. It knows, okay, this is this. It even knows the depth of storms. Those at the back that did not see it, it may be a sudden, but they not normally announce, but when they announce it and when the pilot sees it, they are not the same. So they have that. Imagine if pilots do not have it that helps them to see storms and to notice some obstacles over there. Imagine what would have happened. There'll be tension, unnecessary tension every now and then. And because the pilot have seen it before they got to that point, they have already assessed the impact. So they know what they are to expect and they know how they are to navigate. So when it comes, all they have to do is to keep their eyes on the principles and the things that will make it happen and make them navigate through it. So when you have a prophetic perspective of 2026, you have already seen the future. It helps you to navigate through 2026. So having a prophetic perspective of 2026 is highly imperative, exclusively for we, the faith people, believers, Christians. We are not meant to jump into 2026, then we get to a point we say, or we get shocked. Listen, I used to tell people, having a prophetic perspective of the year is a key to perpetually remaining grateful, because you have seen the year, you know what is going to be the outcome. So all things work together for the good of those that knows God, that fears Him. You know also that all things are working together for your good. Is as easy as that. So I want us to go together through this journey of having prophetic perspective of 2026. What does it mean? How do I go about it? What is the framework? This is the few things I want us to deal with within the time that we have. Now, the prophet reads the times before kings read the terrain. People follow trends. People react to what is happening. But the prophet reads the times. People that have prophetic perspective of the year 2026 are the people that will remain calm throughout 2026. Before people are reacting to what is happening, but the prophet is just navigating, because the prophet have already known this will happen, and they know the path they are supposed to tread on. They know how they are supposed to navigate through 2026. The Bible says, surely the Lord will do nothing, but He revealeth His secret unto His servant, the prophet. So whatever that God wants to do, He reveals it to His servant. You and I, we are servants of God. Sometimes God reveals it to men that have oversight over us, to tell us. What I'm trying to say is that we all should come to terms that we need to have prophetic perspective of the year 2026 and be alert and be open. Either way God wants to give us this perspective, we should be open and ready to receive it, to embrace it. If we are going to if the year 2026 actually is going to be our year of dominion and global relevance, having prophetic perspective is important, because until you have this perspective, you cannot position properly. If Zacchaeus did not perceive that Jesus was going to take that path, Zacchaeus would have been waiting for Jesus Christ on a path that Jesus will not be taking. So because he had that perspective, he went to the right place, and that was why Jesus was able to see him and say, man, I'm coming to your house. Say, Zacchaeus, come down, I'll come to your house. So prophetic perspective of the year is expedient, and it is important. Now, on your own, you can read the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verses 1 to 3, Isaiah 61 to 2, Genesis 41, 25 to 36, Matthew 6, 2 to 3, 1 Chronicles 12, 32, and Proverbs 28, 18. So these things are going to form the foundation of everything I'm going to say in this place today. Now, years are not just calendars, they are containers. They are not just calendars, they are containers. Every year carries a lot of things. 2026 carries death, it carries catastrophe, it carries depression, it carries all kinds of evil in it. At the same time, it contains all kinds of good in it. Now, why this thing is important is to know how we navigate necessary evil. See, when you are flying up there comes a point you cannot avoid this. You must learn how to deal with it. There are ones you can avoid. There are ones you must go through. But when you have prophetic perspective, you understand, like Noah, that you need to build an ark. It does not become a sudden occurrence to you. It doesn't. So the year is not just a calendar, it's a container. But we're making sure that the year 2026 delivers into our hand those good things that the Lord have in store for us. The Lord will help us in the name of Jesus Christ. So a year is not empty. It arrives loaded, sometimes with patterns, permissions, pressures, possibilities. These are the possibilities of every year. So you determine what you are going to get out of the year based on prophetic perspective, based on the fact that you know what the year has, the necessary things that the year has. Then the ones you can push aside, you push aside. The one you must navigate, you prepare for the navigation. It doesn't take you unaware. Now, those who enter a year blind, they react. Those who enter prophetically govern it. People that enters blindly, they react to it. But those that enters prophetically, they govern it. They have seen into the month of February. They are praying about it. There's this evil that must occur, but they're exempted. Just like when the angel of death were to pass, it must pass through the street. In that street, Egyptians are living there, Israelites are living there. But they learned how to navigate because they have prophetic perspective, they have prophetic insight. The man of God told them, kill the lamb, let the blood be on the doorpost. That is how you'll be exempted from this evil that must pass through this land. So those who have prophetic insight, they govern. Those who does not, they panic, they react. And of course, sometimes people are destroyed because of wrongly reacting to things. But God have not called us to react. God has called us to govern the year 2026. Now, let me say this. Reaction is the language of the unprepared. Perspective is the advantage of the prophetic. That is the language of the unprepared. Reaction. But perspective is the advantage of the prophetic. Perspective is the advantage of the prophetic. When you are prophetic, you have perspective. You know how to navigate this season. Let me tell you something. I have strong persuasion. As long as you're listening to me today, I have strong persuasion in my spirit, man, that the year 2026 is about to become your best year ever in your life here on this earth. The covenant day, okay, God does not reveal the future to entertain us. He reveals it to prepare us. That is what I want to establish. That when God reveals the future, He is not there to entertain us, nor to scare us, or to make us joyful about it. He is doing it to prepare us. Let me tell you something. That you see the future or you see the year does not mean that you're going to survive it. If you are not prepared, it will. Imagine if God told Noah, listen, there's going to be massive rain. I'm going to destroy this earth with rain and with rain. And after Noah, that's a privileged information. Noah, after hearing it, he was happy or he was sad. But at the end of the day, he decided to do nothing. He did nothing about it. Let me tell you something. That information is useless. So whatever that God shows you about the future is because He wants to prepare you. And sometimes to make you prepare in order to take advantage of the season. There was going to be famine. It was revealed to Pharaoh. Perspective was given to Joseph. Joseph analyzed everything and told the king that this evil is something that we must confront. There's no way we can shift it, but we can navigate through it by preparation. And that was how they navigated through that thing. See, for the 3.5 years that we abundance, we're going to save. For the other year, we're going to manage. He made it. And they were able to survive. So God shows us perspective to prepare us. But let's make progress. Now, prophetic perspective is seen from God's angle. So when we talk about prophetic perspective, we're talking about seeing things from God's angle, because sometimes angle is everything. If there's an angle, you see something, you have different interpretation. In fact, if we see things from different angles, you're going to have different interpretations to it. But we're not talking about personal interpretation. I want to see 2026 from God's angle. Which angle is God taking us? We have to look at it. Prophetic perspective into the year 2026. So Habakkuk did not rush to speak. He climbed the watchtower to see. He said, I will stand upon my watch. So prophetic people are not loud first. They are still first. People that are prophetic say, I will stand upon my watch. I want to know what he's going to say so that I know how to prepare myself. So prophetic people are not loud. Before we shout, this year is my year, have you gotten prophetic perspective about 2026? That is what makes it your year. Or will you just come on that day, you start shouting, oh, Happy New Year? Do you know that some people that shouted Happy New Year between, let's say, 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., they die within that period? I'm honest to you. I am very, very honest to you. Because they lack prophetic perspective. Some people will die on 1st January 2026. I'm telling you, and to a greater extent, when you have prophetic perspective, many things are avoidable. Even if it's not avoidable, at least you can manage it. That is why prophetic perspective is important. And when you climb, you see, you hear what God is saying concerning 2026. Prophetic perspective precedes proclamation. You know, I used to say to people, and I've started saying it for the church people, I said, it doesn't make sense. You have no perspective. You just appeared on 31st night. You are shouting, this year is my year. This year is my year. From what angle? Is it a wish? Is it assumption? Or is it from the point of prophetic perspective? Is it that you have seen from God's angle? Let me tell you some year God may tell you, brace up. Say you are not going to add. You are going to just survive. To be honest with you. That comes a year God told you clearly, lay foundation. You are not growing. Lay foundation. This year is not for growth. This year is just for foundation for 2027. Don't try to expand. Just try to, oh God, God tell you, just consolidate what I have given you already. Don't expand. But people will start shouting, this is my year. They will start expanding when they are consolidating. They enter 27, something happens, they cannot carry the weight of glory or the weight of what God is going to be doing in 2027. That is why prophetic perspective precedes proclamation. Before you proclaim, you have prophetic perspective. It guides your prayers, it guides your thought, it guides your decision, it guides your project, it guides your investment, it guides everything that you are doing. So to see prophetically means interpreting trends, not just miracles. You interpret trends, you interpret the moves of God, not just outcomes. Number 2, understanding seasons, not just moments. You understand seasons, not just moments. Good things can happen in bad seasons. Bad things can happen in good seasons. That's why you interpret seasons, not just moments. And this is what you can do with the help of God. Number 3, to see prophetically means reading movement, not just manifestations. You read movement, not just manifestation. Reading the move of God is important, not just manifestations. Some people have reacted to manifestations and they miss the move of God. God shows before he moves. To be honest with you, he said in one of the scriptures I just quoted that I did not read, he said, surely the Lord will not do anything without showing his prophet. And when God was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, because Abraham was in a listening position, God spoke to him and said, look at what I'm about to do. So before God moves, God speaks. You see, when it looks like God took us unaware, that means to a greater extent that nobody was paying attention to God. Before God moves, he speaks. Because God cannot hold us accountable for things he did not reveal to us. You have to do this. He can't hold us accountable for things that he has not revealed to us. He will not hold us accountable. So before God moves, he speaks. So he's going to speak concerning his movement in the year 2026. Remember I told you, say that prophetic perspective simply means seeing 2026 from God's angle. That's what we mean, prophetic perspective. And the essence of it is for alignment, for preparation. Now, like I said, every year has a dominant spirit. Every year has a dominant spirit. Isaiah 60 reveals a paradox. In our book of Isaiah 60, the Bible says darkness covers the earth, but glory rests on God's people. That's what I told people, that it doesn't matter the nature of the year, that two people can have different outcomes from the same year. The Bible says, when men shall say there's a casting down, I will arise and say there's lifting up for me. There was famine in all the land, but because Joseph and Egyptians had perspective of the seasons, they were able to navigate. There was darkness in this side, there was glory in this side. In the same Egypt, there was Goshen, and there was the other part where people are languishing, where people are selling their lands, where people are doing all kinds of suffering in all kinds of ways. Yet there's another people that are enjoying. So this means 2026 will be polarized. Some will decline sharply, others will rise conspicuously. In 2026, listen to me, it's not God that's going to do it. It's not God that's going to say this one step down, this one step up. It's lack of perspective. Like I said, if you don't have perspective, you may be going where God is living and be living where God is going. And because of this, some people go down sharply and others will rise sharply. You see, that's why people read budget. They want to know what is the budget saying, so that I don't invest where I should not be investing. God has budget for 2026. God has plan for 2026. There is an investment that God wants to make into 2026. If you do not have prophetic perspective, you may be walking against the move of God, and thereby you're going to lose significantly. The importance of gaining prophetic perspective about 2026 cannot be overemphasized. So the same song that makes wax is the same one that hardens the clay. So the year that destroyed others is also the year that made others. The choice is yours. Are you going to decide to have prophetic insight, prophetic perspective about 2026? Are you going to wait and give it no attention, only to come up at a particular time shouting, this year is my year? Seasons do not favor everyone equally. They reward alignment. Seasons do not favor everyone equally. They reward alignment. Just like the season of famine, it rewarded Egyptian because of Joseph, and because for the fact they also aligned properly. The people that did not align this one, they get to Egypt, they wonder, how come Egyptians have food the same season? Even Isaac and Abraham, there was famine in the land, but they aligned prophetically and they had abundance. So get ready. It doesn't matter what people are saying about 2026. You can align prophetically, and the storm that destroyed others, like the eagle climbs, takes advantage of the storm. You will take the advantage of the storm that was killing others must not bed to arrive to destiny, to achieve purpose, and to do greater things for God. Now, before I move on about the dominant spirit of the year, I want you to understand, what will 2026 reward? 2026 will reward prepared minds. Minds that are prepared about 2026 are going to be rewarded. How far are you prepared about 2026? How far? What 2026 will reward disciplined life. When you get perspective into 2026, it controls everything that